It is 6 o'clock, November 19th, 2018. It's time to call the city council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Avon?
Here.
Mr. Austin?
Here.
Mr. Blankenship?
Here.
Mr. Eggers?
Here.
Mr. Hukin?
Here.
Mr. Richards?
Here.
Mr. Wertz?
Here.
Sir, you have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Wertz, prayer and pledge, please.
Let's bow our heads. Father, let us remember this special holiday, our Thanksgiving, and the meaning for our community and those in need. Be with our military, men and women around the world who protect all of our freedoms. Be with our police department and fire departments who are our first responders for the safety of our constituents. Be with all of our city employees who provide the many services. Be with the mayor and the council as we conduct the business of our city and allow us to do this business in a positive direction.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Do we have any announcements? Any presentations? Public comments? One announcement, December the 1st, holiday lighting. Looking forward to it. Discover Downtown Franklin and Parks Department working together to make that happen, so be ready. Also, we have Jonathan Ott, Clay Black, Dylan Clark, and Lillian Petrus. Did I say it right? There you go. But they are on the mayor's youth council, and appreciate you guys being here tonight. I see we have a Boy Scout in the audience. You want to say your name, sir?
Isaac?
Isaac, thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
And we also have some Franklin College students also. Do you want to say your name?
I'm Mitchell.
I'm Justice.
I'm Megan.
Thank you guys for all being here.
Sounds like a law firm. It's Justice and Megan. Ready to go, guys.
Okay, is there anything else? Okay, that gets us to the consent agenda.
Move to approve the common council minutes from November 5th.
Second.
Second by Mr. Adams. All those in favor?
Aye.
There is no business under old business. That gets us right to the new business.
Move to read new business by title only.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wertz to read new business by title only. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that gets us to number one. Common Council budgetary resolution number 18-11, authorizing a transfer from rainy day fund 246 to local road and bridge matching grant fund 258 in the amount of $281,068.68. Clerk Treasurer Jane Rose.
Yes, sir, and I will let Mark Richards explain this.
Yes, the city submitted 17 applications for community crossings grant funding this year. We were required to break the applications down so that no more than 10 streets were included in a single application. So we had to spread it out over quite a few applications. We did receive funding for the largest single application that we submitted, slightly over $281,000. A little bit disappointing, I would say, but I do have a call in to NDOT to find out what, if any, issues there were with the applications, or if it was just simply a scoring criteria that caused the others to move farther down the path. But this money then will go into a special account to be used for that community crossings project.
Then, do we need to do the transfer first or the appropriation?
We can do the transfer. We
Okay.
can pass the resolution tonight. We can then do the appropriation at our next regular scheduled meeting, as long as we have it done before the first of the year.
I move to approve common council budgetary resolution 1811. As
Second.
presented.
Second by Mr. Austin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next one. Common Council Budgetary Resolution number 18-12, authorizing transfer from Police 300 Services to Police 400 Capital in an amount of $16,490. Police Chief Coffin.
Thank you, council. What we're asking for is a transfer from 300 service to police 400 capital, $16,490. This money would be used to purchase or upgrade a current TI training system that we have, that we use. It's a simulation trainer that we use. It kind of takes place of outdoor firearm training. It gives us an opportunity to change our level of force training that we can do, that we cannot do on the firing range, and also saves us some dollars in ammunition. We can train year-round with it. We can also offer some training to general public or other folks. But it's a piece of equipment we've had for years. It's just outdated. We attempted to have software updated. The cost of that far exceeds us trading in that equipment, purchasing this new equipment for officers.
Chief, I have a question.
Yep.
Is this technology advancing at a pace of about every 5 or 6 years?
About every 5 or 6. This one's about 7 years old. Theoretically, they wanted to change and just update the software, but what they found was the current weapons that we use won't work with the system. So that's where we ran into the problem. It would cost us about double this amount to try and get new weapons and change all that just to use that simulator. So that's why we chose to go this route.
These simulators, these are just like the military when you're attached to the weapons with miles, equipment and stuff.
Yeah, basically we're using our same weapons that we're carrying. We just change the slide, magazine, and then the cylinder. It's very accurate. It's very similar to shooting on the range. And we use that for training hours that they have.
And this will also upgrade the type of software for the scenarios that the guys deal with.
Yeah, it gives us an opportunity to do, say, some active shooter situations, as far as we can do just dry fire, just static qualification training, all kinds of things. And then also, this new system will encumber our tasers and any other level of force that we might have to use, so we can change. We can't do that on the range, obviously.
When can I sign up to use it? That's what no, yes, yeah. I move to approve.
Chief, if I would just a reminder, if the council sees fit to authorize the transfer, remember we'll have to ask the Board of Works to determine if they're allowed to trade in once you decide what your new simulator is, since it's technically city property. Trade in, so I heard you say, I think you can trade it in.
Yeah.
So just a reminder.
Well, I thought Drew was gonna approve according to what you said.
Well, I think he's gonna approve the transfer of the money, which you folks have to do, and then once you guys approve the money, then, the Board of Works has to, because we're trading in existing equipment for something else. They have to handle that.
I move to approve the transfer of, and the budgetary resolution 1812.
Second.
Second by Mr. Allen. All those in favor?
Now, do we have to make another, or is that going to be?
It has to be Board of Works.
Yeah.
Yeah, Board of Works controls the actual property, you guys pay for it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kirby. Common Council Budgetary Resolution number 18-13, authorizing a transfer from Planning 400 Capital to Planning 200 Supplies in the amount of $2,500. City Engineer Mark Richards.
Yes, we've had a problem recently with a desktop computer in the office. It's the one that I use, and it's been crashing with the blue screen of death, which is never a good thing. So I'd like to be able to purchase a replacement for that with a little bit more horsepower that will run AutoCAD without any problems and so forth, as well as there's additional funds that I'm asking to transfer that's part of this for some office supplies.
Is this part of the next resolution of $3,800 for computers?
No, that's separate. That's
That's-
separate. Yeah. And this transfer is from funds that will be unused. There's about $13,000 remaining in the 400 series account. We had a $25,000 budget for GPS equipment this year. That came in quite a bit less than what was expected. So the balance, the additional $10,000 that will remain after this transfer, if approved, will then revert back to the general fund.
I would make a motion to approve Common Council Budgetary Resolution 18-13.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second by Mr. Ayers. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Mark.
Mr. Mayor, what we might for our students, so they get full credit for being, what the council is doing, we're not spending more money, we're transferring it from one set of funds to another set of funds. So don't tell the college that we spent tons of money. We've already budgeted for it, we're just appropriating, or moving it now.
And this is the time of year at the end of the budgets that they start moving money around to make the ends meet before we start a new budget in January. And I did see Mr. Richards when his computer crashed a couple times. He was on pretty excited.
I heard it.
Yeah, what do you want me to do? Okay, number 4. Common Council Budgetary Resolution number 18-14, authorizing a transfer from clerk treasurer 113 to clerk treasurer 200 in the amount of $3,800, clerk treasurer Jane Davis.
Yes, sir. My request will be the same as Mr. Richards. We are going to update our computers. We did consult with our IT specialist, Mr. Littleton, and with the amount of work and that we do in ours, we are on like a 5-year rotation where we do get new computers. We would like to transfer money from our 100 series into our 200.
I move to approve resolution number 18-14.
Second.
Second by Mr. Austin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Common Council Budgetary Ordinance number 18-14, an additional appropriation local road and bridge matching grant fund in the amount of $281,000, $281,068.68 for Treasurer Jane Rhodes.
Yes, gentlemen, as you know, we, in Resolution 18-11, which you just approved, for me to transfer from the rainy day to the local road and bridge fund. This ordinance will give me the authority to spend money. This is for introduction only. On December 3rd, you hopefully will approve.
Okay, is there any questions with Jane before we move on? Okay, we're going to other business, which is for informational purposes only, the 2019 holiday schedule and meeting dates. I know Mr. Works, you had made some comments about a couple months, I think January and February, we only got one meeting. We did not address that with this document. But if we did, we could always add a meeting with proper advertising at that time, so. So, you have questions with that?
No.
Are we meeting on the 21st of January?
Thought I saw
a
holiday.
Okay. I'm looking at the, never mind, I'm looking at the wrong one, never mind.
You'll be here by yourself.
January 7th.
I did this earlier.
And Mayor, on the scheduled holidays, did we add a day this year?
I don't think so.
Does it say?
I reviewed it, it was the same. It's different than the counties by Columbus Day, but they get the election days off, so they actually have one more day than what we have.
What do you want to vote to take it over?
No, I talked to one of our county council people, and it was one day less.
Yeah, they actually have, depending on the election, they have 14 or 12 because they do both, so it depends on the cycle, if it's a general election or not.
Yeah, we changed that back in about 2009 and 2010, we had 12 days, and then we went down to 10 days, something like that. We took away 2 days.
There's 12.
Yeah, yeah, they're,
Well, 2012.
Right.
Well, we have the current.
And I think this is 14. That's just for the record.
Right.
this is exactly what you had last year,
Okay, thank you.
this year.
Okay, any other comment on the schedule? Okay. That gets us to council member comments, Mr. Richards.
Nothing at this time, sir.
Not a thing, Your Honor.
I just wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
There will be an RDC meeting tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Any of you want to attend?
I don't know, I need to say this, but I'm out of town. I'll be traveling on December 3rd, so I will not be at this meeting. And probably will miss the December 17th meeting due to some surgery I'm having on the 12th, unless I can limp in on one leg. But, so you may not see me, I apologize for that. Give the council members kind of a heads up, this hasn't been set in stone, but just let you know that as kind of the chair of the RDC, I've been working with Krista and Jeff Peters, and Mayor's aware of this as well. We're doing a review of all of the current pending and anticipated redevelopment commission projects for the next several years. We tend to do that so we can present that to the RDC, and it's kind of a year-end thing. But one of the things we want to make sure of is that we've kind of worked through a surplus of RDC TIF funds over the last few years, and so now we're having to, there's no problem other than the fact that we just want to make sure as things are expended, we have the receipts that come in from the TIF dollars, and we can't appropriate anything until we know that money's there. I think I may be saying that wrong, Jane. But we want to make sure all the timing of all that matches up. There is a possibility that we might be calling for a special RDC council joint meeting, perhaps late January, maybe sometime in February. We kind of kicked around the 28th of January as a date for that, so kind of keep that in mind, that it's really an informational thing, not only for the council and the redevelopment commission, but also for the public. It'd be a good recap of what we've got going on with that. But we've used over the last few years, Jeff Peters, who does a pretty good job of anticipating cash flows as it relates to TIF dollars, and that way we can, it's basically a good pencil sharpening session where we make sure the numbers are right. So there's still a number of projects that are going. I think what's going to happen next year is that the funding for the roundabout on Hurricane and Arvin Road will happen. And also, one time that project was anticipated to be funded through a grant, but that didn't happen. So we'll be paying it out of funds in the RDC, but also, as most people know, we've had a number of properties that RDC has acquired in the floodplain just west of us here, and more likely that will, as far as us actually gaining possession and having to do some things with those properties, will come to pass. So we just still have a lot of things on the plate that need to be kind of sorted out. I took a long time on that, I apologize. But
No, that'd be a good meeting to come to, because you can see what we have planned in the future and see how we're gonna pay for it. And, know that some projects that some people wanna do, everybody wants to do a special project, but we wanna make sure we got the funds before we start, doing projects, so.
So some of you Franklin College kids want to come in early for the meeting in the morning, you're welcome to do so.
We'll give you a note for class.
No, probably not, but they might just have fun.
Mr. Austin?
Kudos to our street department, and, I really appreciate the leaf pickup situation and the ice situation we had, and you guys have really been hitting it hard, and the streets look really nice, and really appreciate your efforts. Thank you.
Mr. Evans?
Yes, tomorrow night, Plan Commission meeting here in Liz Chambers at 06 at 6 o'clock. 1800 the other way. Also, I'll be out of town, business related, the week of the 3rd. So I'm not gonna be at that Monday evening also. So that puts, it's only 5 so far.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not gonna be here either, so that's down to 4, so if anybody else is gonna be gone, we might need to cancel that meeting.
Yeah, especially if we get anything hot on the agenda. I have a special meeting next week on December 3rd.
I don't know of anything coming up, but,
We would-
Just that ordinance that we
Right,
just,
to appropriate that money.
Yeah, for the money.
right, but we have another one in December as well,
Correct.
so we have to do it before the end of December.
Okay, as long as we're doing it in
We
December.
have 4, we have
We're good,
1.
we're, as long as we have.
Okay. And the last thing I got, I just want to say, I wish everybody safe and happy Thanksgiving.
And I did want to bring up one thing. I said last meeting that I would check on Discover Downtown Franklin on the funding for that. It was brought up for the holiday lighting. How we did it last year is exactly how we're doing it this year. In 2016, the city of Franklin gave Discover Downtown Franklin $17,500. Last year, 2017, we gave Discover Downtown Franklin $22,500. This year, right at the moment, we're at $18,500, I believe. And I met with Emily from Discover Downtown Franklin, who is doing a great job. Marty, she's an excellent fit. She was doing some fundraising, and that's how it was supposed to be for Discover Downtown Franklin, to work with the city on all the events. And what we did last year and what we're gonna do this year, she will get to the point where she comes and asks me, okay, we met our goal of what the money we need to pay, or I need another $2,000 or $1,500 or whatever that is. And that should be next week, and then we have figured out what we can do with that. I know talking with Chip, also Parks Department, Chip's part of that. Between the two of us, we'll make sure we're covered, so.
all right, thank you.
Chip's gonna actually let go of some money.
Not there yet. All right, Ms. Gray has.
2 more chances.
Since you are the fiscal body and you pay for all our improvements and the Board of Public Works manages those, I wanted to report to you folks that the mayor and the Board of Works and the city engineer throughout the course of the year have found there have been certain items of our property, in our road constructions that have been damaged by third parties' property damage claims. And so the mayor and the Board of Works asked me to pursue recovery of monies from those. Specifically, we had 5 that they asked me to go after, that's exactly what they said, to get reimbursed for damage to our property. We had, an intersection of Monroe and Crowell Street, there was tree damage, took out some landscaping, some trees, that was $5,671.17. There was, a truck, that hit an electrical box out at Paris Drive and East King Street. The Board of Public Works had to pay $4,180.60 to repair that. There was a driver that ran into a light pole and luminaires for $9,120.93 out the interstate. Once we had just put it up. There was also a semi that was downtown, shouldn't have been, that took the corner too sharp and struck a light pole and luminaires, and that was $5,323.79. And there was a stop sign that was struck at the corner of Home and Monroe, and that cost us $200. So the Board of Works, through their budget, paid for all of those, and I'm happy to report that all of those have been pursued, and money has been gotten from all of those and been deposited with the clerk treasurer's office to replenish those instances where money was spent. So we're
Thank you.
at 0.
And most of these are truck related when we're having problems too, right?
Various things, yes, but most trucks, a couple of drivers that perhaps were driving when they shouldn't have been. But they were pretty significant, and the mayor asked, and the city engineer was pretty aggressive about it, so why can't we go get the money? And I don't know that we've ever done that, and so we did, and we got it. It was about close to $25,000.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Ms. Rhodes? Anybody else? Yes, Marty?
Thanks for the continued support of Discover Downtown, guys, we appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for what Discover Downtown Franklin does. Anybody else? Burley? 26 minutes to county. Ready to adjourn?
So moved.
Second by Mr. Ross. All in favor?
Aye.